All right. Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who does lead and rule well. Salutations to all you hopeful like Akim pushing out this word and truth and in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And sincere shalom also to you, Akim and Aqua, for listening and learning, preparing ourselves here in these last days. All right, and to the entire household of faith, fighting this good fight of faith, I want to say shalom. This is your brother Quar from the DC camp. Come back at you with another lesson. And I'm entitled this one, This is Why the Whole Thing Must End. All right. And, this whole thing I'm talking about, this captivity we in, this hell, it's got to be put down. This whole place must be destroyed. I was watching this series. I guess it's been around since 2022. Yeah. But I'm just now seeing it on Netflix, and my brother told me to watch it. I think it's 2 seasons, 8 episodes each, and it's good to kind of watch some of these joints, to keep, that anger. You kind of want to be angry, man, and not lulled to sleep in this place, man. But the thing is, it's a movie, but it just shows you the reality of it. I mean, it's a show, but it shows you the reality of things. The corruption, how it's deeply, intertwined, just the police and the actual justice system, how it plays a part with the crime and the poverty and the drugs. It's all designed to keep Jake down. Now in this show, you got the lawyer who was doing his best to bring down the corruption, and Jake trying to change their ways and buy back the block, if you will. But in reality, none of that's Esau's never going to judge himself, man. If we gain, then they lose, and they not going to do that. All right, but you can see he actually changed some hearts, and some Edomite hearts was. That's these things. I mean, you might get some of them. The scriptures say that when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies be at peace with him. You might get small victories here and there, but the whole system is never going to change. Okay, so this is why Yahushua, he has to come and destroy this place, man. But from the very get go, you see, them the part that I was trying to find a video, but I couldn't. But the part that I was trying to find was at the end when he said the Edomite cop, he pretty much beat Jake to death, and he was like, why did you do it? And he said, because I could, and you can see it from the very beginning how they just attacked Jake, just shot him, and can easily get off, and they can paint the narrative. All right. Planting drugs just to fit their story. But this is what happens to Jake, man. Then you got some Jakes that's being bought off and paid by them. So, hey, I would say check it out. It's just, like I said, it's 16 episodes. It's a pretty good show, man. But it made me look this up, right? This one. I think. Comparing the KKK and the lynchings to the police and the shootings that's been happening, man. And when you really look at it, the number of years, all right, because you got they grabbing information from 1965 up until the 1960s. So up until the 1960s. So about 100 years. And then you got about 50 years of data for the police shootings, which all the numbers is underreported. But when you even grab the numbers that they have, the numbers is drastically higher now. And the only difference, I don't know if they're going to have it on here, I'll start reading. But first, let me get this scripture. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 12. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity." Because it's that was the origin of this. Even when with Columbus coming over here, getting the Northern Kingdom, and then they brought Jake over here. It started with blood and it never stopped. And it's the blood of the saints, the blood of the Israelites, man. And the Lord is going to avenge our blood. Let me see. Revelation 6 verse 10. "And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" And he gonna say, it says, Revelation, let me see. It's 18. It's 18 and 20, but I want to get 19 and 2. It says, "For true and righteous are his judgments, for he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand." All right. The Lord going to judge this. But see, because that's going to be the end of all of this, man. It ain't going to be them changing themselves, Jake mobilizing, doing whatever they can. We can't. They way more powerful than us, and that's all biblical. And honestly, that's the way that the Most High wanted it, so that we can seek Him, so that we can go after Him, man. So you got Jakes in here. Y'all should. It's amazing that y'all hate this message, this good news, this gospel, because this is for us. How do you complain about these things happening, but you ain't trying to get up out of it, man? But yeah, let me go ahead and read a little bit more. It says, compare. I asked, can you compare the KKK and the police number of lynchings versus? I think I messed up the. I meant to say in the lynchings, it kind of got messed up, but they looked up what I wanted. It says, a direct comparison reveals different scopes and mechanisms of violence, with KKK lynchings being acts of extrajudicial racial terror by a non-governmental group, and police killings being state-sanctioned lethal force by law enforcement. So, extrajudicial meaning that it didn't go through the proper channels, right? So it wasn't like by law. Now I'm just trying to look up the word. I guess I can't do it. I'm gonna look up that. Not legally authorized racial terror by a non-governmental group. All right. But you're gonna see that it pretty much is legal if you're not gonna do anything about it. Then so now it says, and police killings being state-sanctioned lethal force. So that's the opposite. This is legal. And this is why, man, I hate when they do that. But this is why they don't be getting in trouble for it, man. Okay? Oh, let me get this. This is Isaiah 10 verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they has prescribed." All right? So they hold on. They making it it was another scripture I was just thinking of, but it's not coming to me. But they making it legal to do what they doing to you, Jakes, man. Damn, that's not it. It was another scripture that I wanted. No, it's not coming. If it comes to me, I'll post it in the yeah. Nope. Yeah, I'll post it in the comments. But yeah, they making it a legal actually by law to do this to you, man. And this is why we say who needs. We had the sign back in the day with the Jake getting lynched. Who actually needs salvation, man? When these Christians talk about salvation, what are they even talking about? I don't think they know what they're talking about. What about the actual deliverance? You know? Because we the ones under this curse. Check this curse out. Deuteronomy 28:66. It says, "And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of life." All right? You got a kid, you don't know if you're gonna see him that same day. You know? Anyways, number of lynching. Time period. The KKK activity and associated violence has occurred in waves since the end of the Civil War. The primary eras of intense lynching were the Reconstruction era, look that time period up, and the Jim Crow era, roughly 1880s to the 1960s, peaking in the 1890s. The total number of black victims of racial terror lynchings is estimated to be at least 6,400 between 1865 and 1950, with thousands more potentially undocumented. You see that? So they only documented 6,400 between 85 years. You know, but thousands more undocumented. It says the vast majority of victims were black people, but some white individuals were also lynched for assisting black people or opposing the practice. And that's what you've seen in the in this show too, man. You know? It says nature. Lynches were public, often spectacle murders carried out by mobs without legal trials, designed to enforce white supremacy. And this is what got to end. This is what Jake should be hoping to come to an end. And it ain't going to come to an end. See, this AI stuff is crazy. Look. Well, I could have looked it up. But it's not going to come to an end until the Lord does it. And intimidate black communities. Perpetrators, including some law enforcement members, often face no legal consequence. See that? No legal consequence. So it's pretty much the same way, except then now they just changed it to where the police have the authority to do it. And your man Nero, he said he want to give them the authority to do what they have to do. Right? Never mind the situation that they put you in. You had the cops getting a kickback for a particular gang, you know? That's because we are the tail and they're the head. Anyways, police killings of black people. Time period. Police killings occur continuously, but contemporary data collection allows for more accurate analysis of modern trends, particularly since the 1980s, so about 55 years. Historical data from the lynching era indicates law enforcement often failed to intervene in lynchings and were sometimes complicit. Yeah, because they're the same number of killings. Data for modern times is substantial. One study estimated over 32,000 deaths from police violence for all races between 1980 and 2019. In recent years, several hundred black people have been killed by police annually. Black people are killed at a 2.8 to 3.5 times higher than white people. All right? They're not even giving you all the actual data. You know, from Jake, there was another. Let me see. Look at that. It said they wasn't convicted. Nah, it was another. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. Now, this is when they trying to just say Jake's, right? Out of those numbers, they're going to say 3,400 to 4,400 was Jake's. And then they saying 1,000 police killings a year, 250 to 330 is Jake. You know? Now, there was another part where it said they threw the Northern Kingdom in there. You know? But mind you, all these numbers is higher than what they're estimating. You see? 6,500. I'm trying to find that joint. Look, between 2013 and 2024, approximately 250 to 330 black individuals were killed by police each year. That's a span of 11 years. Let's go with the minimum number. 250 times 11. That's 2,750 jakes. You go with the higher number, that's 3,630. So you can see that these numbers, they doing it at a higher rate because they can. That's what the dude said, because I can. They try to make it seem like he was feeling, what happened to me type shit, And he's talking about a 100-year span. Look, the current annual rate of police killings of black people over 300 years means that in a single decade, more black people are now killed by police than were documented as lynchings during the peak decades of the early 20th century. And it was more than just lynchings. They would take Jake, drag him with the car. You know that story. Shit is crazy, man. But we got to get out of this place, man. But these is the scriptures, man. This is Zechariah 11:5. It says, hold on. Yeah, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. You see, nobody's getting convicted. They barely even getting indicted. It says, and they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. And you see that in that show. You got the Jake Mayer. You got these Jake cops. You had one cop that, that I ain't gonna tell the story. But yeah, you got them wanting to stay in their power. That's why the scriptures say that the gift destroyeth the heart, man. And it's a systematic destruction of our people, man. Well, yeah, this is the same information I got right there. So let me go ahead and get some of these scriptures, man. All right. Some of these other scriptures that I had. This is Psalms. Oh. And then I'm going to close. This is Psalm 64. And I'm going to start it at the top. But the heading says, the prayer for deliverance from secret enemies. All right, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O my power. O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and who bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not. They don't have no fear. Because guess what? Who's protecting us? The scriptures say that, man. Who shall say restore? None shall say restore. Nobody pitied us, man. Nobody is pleading our cause. That's why the Lord raised up the prophets to cry out. And then the Lord's going to avenge us, man. How about that, man? Scripture says we are for a spoil. Yeah, they also continuing this in jail, man. All right. It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter, Salakia. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right. They don't think nobody's seeing them and judging them for this. They think they're going to stay in their power seat forever. And it ain't going to be nothing we can do about it, man. But there's one in the heavens that's more mighty than they. And that is our faith. And that's why they're so upset with us, man. They don't want us to have that type of hope. They want us to continue to depend on them and just be good little boys to them, man. But the Most High, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. The scripture says they couldn't even go to sleep except they've done some mischief. The CSB version says they devise crimes and say, we have perfected a secret plan. The inner man and the heart are mysterious. Yeah. It says, yes, the human heart and the mind are cunning. And this system that they've built is very slick, man. But verse 7 says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. All right. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So the Most High is having your own people expose you, man. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doings. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. All right. Beautiful, man. Let me get this. The mindset of this devil, man. I think it's 15 and 19. Nah. This is when the Lord delivered us from the hand of Pharaoh in Exodus the 15th chapter. It was the Song of Moses. All right, but I'm gonna start at 6. Exodus 15:6. Thy right hand, O Yahweh, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Yahweh, have dashed in pieces the enemy. All right. And in the greatness of thine excellency, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sentest forth thy wrath, which consumed them as stubble. All right. Now, right hand it starts with the power on the right hand, but it starts with Yahweh Shah. And that's what we're looking to deliver us. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood upright as in heap, and the depths were congealed in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue, I will overtake, I will divide the spoil. My lust shall be satisfied upon them. I will draw my sword. My hand shall destroy them. And that's the spirit that they in. No matter what, they not gonna they refuse to let us go. They want to pursue us. That's what's in their heart. To slay thy brother Jacob. So you ain't about to get them to change how they feel. The Most High put that spirit on them. But the Lord is gonna get them. It's beautiful, beautiful times. Yeah, that's it on that one. Let me get Job 5. Come on, it's pride. Oh shit, that's why I'm like, what? This not Job. Yeah, this thing, Job 5 says the Most High is just, man. This is Job 5 and 8. It says, I will seek unto the Most High, and unto the Most High would I commit my cause, which doeth great things and unsearchable, marvelous things, which outnumber, Salakia, who giveth rain upon the earth, and sendeth waters upon the fields, to set up on high those that be low. That's what's going to happen. That those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. They're not going to be able to continue doing what they're doing. And even they whole NWO, the Lord's going to disappoint you. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward and is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. But this is the part that I wanted. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty, so that the poor have hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. All right. So, hey, we have hope, man. We have this power. We have a righteous and a just power, man. So all this is going to come to an end. All right. That scene was crazy. I encourage you to watch that show, man. There's another one, Job 6. Job 6:23. Or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of the mighty. And that's just what we asking, man. We want the Lord to deliver us from the hand of the mighty, man. The mighty man on the earth, man. You know? Here it is. You got this dude is the hammer of the whole earth, but we are right in the neck of him. You know? He over here doing these to whole nations. How about little Jake, man? The poor, the fatherless. You know? No, that was the wrong one. Yeah, this is Psalm 142, and let me see. It's short. I'll read the top, but it says a prayer for help in trouble. Michelle of David, a prayer when he was in the cave. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice until Yahweh did I make my supplication. I poured out my complaint before him. I showed before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knowest my path. And the Lord is near to them that are broken in a contrite spirit. So we got to complain. We got to cry out unto the Lord, man. You know? When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walked, have they privily laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. And King David felt alone at that moment. I cried unto thee, O Yahweh. I said, and that's how Jake felt, you know, when we were talking about in the whole grand scheme of things, you know. I cried unto thee, O Yahweh. I said, thou art my refuge and my portion in the land of the living. Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. And the captive hastens to be loose, man. We want to get out of this place, man. You know, this show, you got Jake trying to, you know, get out of this thing on their own and push Esau out. That's just not going to happen, man. We got to be delivered out of this place. This place was so, this pit, this hell is so deep for us that we need a supernatural force to get us up out of it. Okay. Yeah, man. The scriptures say they lie in wait for our soul, man. All right. Oh, I'm about to wrap it up. There was another one I wanted to get to. This is Jeremiah 31 and 10. Hear the word of Yahweh, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, he that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him as a shepherd doth his flock. For Yahweh have redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. All right. So the Lord is going to deliver us out of this place, man. It even says that in Isaiah, the 49th chapter, shall the captive, I forget how it goes. 24. It says, Isaiah 49:24, shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith Yahweh, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contend with thee. I will save thy children. So call her law Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. You know, the Lord ain't going to leave us. You know, he's not going to cast away his people. He's going to get us out of this hell. But hey, this was sure a rehabilitation, man. You know. Lord's willing, I was edifying to the next lesson. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakar Kodash. I want to say Shalom.